We're now going to put in some wall plates. It doesn't really matter whether you start with the ceilings or the roof, but in this instance I'm going to start with the wall plates. We have a wall plate command in the assistant, wall plates, and with this we have the wall width 90 millimeters. You can see we've already changed to meters, and the distance to the right is 2.4 meters, so this could actually draw a wall plate in across the other side of a room if we didn't have walls to trace over the top of. In this case we do have walls, so I'm going to put the distance as 0, and we're going to go from the wall edge, draw. If I just go to the top here, I'm just going to go E for endpoint, click endpoint and endpoint, and it's put my wall plate inside the room. So what we've learnt there is if I go left to right, it's going to go to the right. So this is what happens with all the commands. What we should be doing is picking points, and the items will always go to the right of where you're going to go. If I was going down the page, I'd go on the right hand side and it would move to the right into the center of the line. Because all the items are in the background, I can pick those up, delete them. So if you make a mistake, you can just move across, you won't pick up the other items that are in the background. So once again, wall plate 0 from the wall edge, we've got 90 millimeters, draw, and we're going to go through this job and just throw in some wall plates. We can see here that we've got a wall plate on an angle. If I do this the same way I just did it before and go from here to the bottom left, it's drawn a wall plate horizontal. What we need to do once we pick the first point, and this is noted down the bottom, right mouse for an angled line. So right mouse click once, then click down the bottom, and it's put that in. This line here I'll delete afterwards. So just putting in a few more wall plates across the room, go all the way across. So this should just take a few minutes to put all the wall plates in a building. In this case here, I'm going to go from the top all the way to the bottom, because with wall plates all we're going to do is total them up and order them as a total length rather than as single items. So we can see here we're going over the top of openings. Now this allows for your waste as well, so just be careful with how you do your waste depending on how you're going to draw your items. Now I'm just going to change for the moment, just exit out of there to my trim command. I'm just going to delete that. So I'm going to come into trim. So this wall plate here, we're going to trim all the way through to the back. Trim these other ones off. We could trim this one all the way through as well. And this helps you with your ceilings and other items. If we just move into the side here, we can trim these, but you can also allow for the extra length on your waist. So if I go to my settings for wall plates, you can see we've got a plus value of 90 mil, so we're already adding 45 mil either side, which is the distance into the center here. I'll just go back to that for a moment. I'll pick wall plate. Wall plate. The increment, we don't have an increment at the moment, so I'm going to change that to 0.1. There's no tolerance, and we have to put all our settings in for the wall plates. This hasn't been done previously. and we're not going to put text on wall plates either. So this just stops text going in altogether. Save, exit. If you want to do the walls down the side and pick up these points rather than allow for something else, you would use the trim to edge. So trim to edge, and any items that need to be trimmed to that edge you can quickly pick up. Trimming to edge is probably the easiest way. You can just go around line by line, just depending on how accurate you want to be. In this instance, we've got lines going through and on top. And this also depends how you're going to do your ceiling joists as well. And you keep going till you have all your wall plates in place. So I've just skipped to the finished item. So here's all my wall plates placed on the job, all trimmed up the way I want it. I can now go to layer groups, change to group 1 and ceiling, and I'm just left with my outline for my wall plates, and I can now put in my ceiling joists and hangers.